Hi, my name is Jim Fitzgerald. I'm the president of Lean Business. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt and a Lean Sensei. I'm going to talk to you today about how you can make your business agile. Let's get going. As we start the slide presentation, I want to go over my role as a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. I articulate the value of Lean Six Sigma to executives. The go-between between execution teams and executive management. Keep executives updated. Initiate training plans. Verify projects tied back to company strategic plans, doing this continuously. Guide the project selection committee. Ensure relevant stakeholders are represented, and so on. A complete list is on my website. Now, let's go to the agenda that talks about how you can make your business agile. You become agile by removing the fat in your organization. Then you maintain your agility by continually improving. I'm going to go over some of the leading companies that you've heard of that have gone down this route, and then we'll talk about a call to action. Lean Six Sigma looks at fat as non-value-added activities or waste. These are activities that a customer would not be willing to pay for. For instance, if you needed to walk somewhere to get something, or if there's XX signatures. Both of those things are examples of waste or things a customer would not want to pay for. Now, the removal of fat is a paradox because when you perform less activities to get a product or service out the door, you operate at a higher velocity. Because you're touching the product or service less, the quality inherently goes up. And finally, because you are doing less work to deliver that product or service to a customer, your costs decrease. Now, let's take a look at an acronym used in Lean Six Sigma that helps you recognize the waste in your business. The estimate for waste or non-value activities added to processes in the service industry is 50% or greater. We don't know what it is in the medical industry or the governmental industry. But not all waste can be removed, and compliance is one example of that. Now, there's a mnemonic in Lean Six Sigma referred to as downtime. I have modified that to put an S at the end looking at services, for instance, electrical services or high-vac services as an example. I'll give you an example of how this downtime helps different people look at waste in their company. Let me look at inventory waste. I was in a hospital recently and I saw excess inventory all over that hospital. Now, if you remove the inventory, you decrease your costs. That's where just-in-time came from. Now that you look at downtimes and you remove the fat from your organization, you are now lean and agile. Next, I'll talk about how to stay that way. Toyota receives 1.5 million continuous ideas a year from their employees, and they utilize 95% of those. Remember when we looked at downtime? Well, the N stood for non-utilized talent. Everybody in your company has the right to be an expert at something, and doesn't it make sense to call upon them to improve your business? One of the issues that companies think about when you think of continuous improvement is they think it is a lot of small improvements. Well, that's not the case. When you create a climate of continuous improvement, people think of large and small improvements. And sometimes small ideas lead to large improved changes. That's pretty much what it takes to stay agile. Now, let's look at some of the winning businesses that have gone down this route before you. Nothing is more impressive than seeing real-life examples of how companies have implemented Lean Six Sigma and the improvements they've made. First, let's talk about Toyota. Everybody knows Toyota is an excellent company, but let me give you some information about how they are agile. The first example, It takes them 47 seconds to change the car model on an assembly line. It takes General Motors 8 hours. Another example, from concept to production, it takes Toyota 3 years. It takes General Motors 5 years. Now, that is being agile. Some other improvements of note. The city of Fort Wayne implemented an online building permit system. So instead of printing out something, filling it out, going to the office, turning it in, and then going through the whole internal process, it's all done online. The last example I'll talk about is Mitsubishi Shipbuilding. One of the products that Mitsubishi produces is hulls for large ships. They moved from 4 months per hull to 2 months per hull, implementing Lean Six Sigma. Next, let's talk about what it takes for you to get there. We first discussed the advantages of removing waste. If you can remove all the non-value added activities or activities that a customer is not willing to pay for out of your business, you will become agile. Now, once you've become agile, it's time to put in a continuous improvement program to maintain that agility. That is how a business becomes agile. As a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, I manage 3 to 5 or possibly 6 black belts, green belts, and Lean Senseis. Agility is around the corner, and now is the time to start.